Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you so much for clicking on this video and choosing to look at my content. I really do appreciate it. So we're going to be diving into some more low budget horror here on the channel. I love talking about these low budget horror movies. They're so fun to look at the details and the cheesiness and the campiness sometimes of what these movies produces. So let's take a look at this. This comes to us from comicflicknews.com, by the way. So, exclusive trailer for Boogieville unveils Southern Fried Vampire movie. Southern Fried Vampire movie. Is there like chickens in it or something? I'm not sure where the Southern Fried part comes from. It's probably, you know, in the south of the US, I get that, but Southern Fried, some sort of play on, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm not really sure. But let's dive in and find out if chickens are indeed involved and why. So, from Magnificent Films and Silent D Pictures, director Sean Cronin's vampire movie, Boogieville, is making its way to the Cannes market. This afternoon, Bloody Disgusting has exclusively revealed the bloody teaser trailer. Sink your fangs into the first look below. So obviously we're going to be looking at the trailer as we kind of talk about the movie as well, guys. This trailer is all kinds of great. The visual effects on the vampires, the teeth and the blood, and what the actual visual look of the vampires is, I think it looks amazing. I think it looks incredible. It's very simplistic, but it's really effective. And the picture itself, this picture here of this little girl as a vampire, this is what drew my attention to making a video about this upcoming movie. I thought this visual here looked absolutely incredible, and this is what made me want to talk about this movie. So yeah, I think just the visuals alone look really compelling, and it goes a great way to kind of giving us a feel for this movie. So, Deadline first reported on Boogieville earlier this week, describing the upcoming film as a Southern Fried vampire thriller. I mean, that's one way to describe it. Again, when I think of Southern Fried, it makes me think of, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Maybe it's not the same for you guys, but that's certainly what it makes me think of. So, the vampires in this one look especially gnarly, with their sharp teeth reminiscent of the bloodsuckers in Radio Silent's new movie Abigail. Absolutely. When I first saw this image here, this could basically be in that same universe as the Abigail movie that recently came out. I mean, the fangs, the teeth, and the kind of the look of the little girl here looks very, very similar to what we saw in that Abigail movie of the little girl who was the vampire there. And it could definitely be in the same universe. I mean, as a fan, you can always kind of go into this movie pretending it's in the same universe if you wanted to. They certainly look the same, so... So, the film follows a young couple on the run who stumble upon the derelict American trailer park, Boogieville, only to discover that its residents are a pack of bloodthirsty vampires. That will certainly ruin your day. That's not something you want to run into. So, Arifin Putra from The Raid 2 and Eloise Lovell Anderson, villain, star alongside Cronin. The screenplay was written by Henry P. Gravel. Sorry if I butchered any of those names. Stay tuned for more updates and check out the exclusive images and poster art below with the trailer. So yeah, like I said, we've been checking out parts of the trailer. I think the trailer looks gnarly. I think it looks great as a low budget film. I'm interested in seeing this. I love myself a good vampire movie. I know that vampire movies are kind of oversaturated, much like the zombie genre. But still, even the worst zombie film, even the worst vampire film, still kind of guaranteed a bit of a good time with vampires and zombies. I always still find them fun. So, yeah, I think this trailer looked incredible. It looks all kinds of gnarly. I'm really interested in seeing this. But yeah, so we have some exclusive images. Obviously, that little girl image from above, what we saw at the top of the article itself. Just a little girl, kind of a mouth covered in blood with these giant fangs. Very reminiscent of the Abigail, which is really cool. Then we have this second image here of this vampire lady on fire. The effects here look a little bit questionable, I'm not going to lie. This fire doesn't look realistic to any degree, but obviously you can't, well, I guess you can set someone on fire. There are some people that do that, but it's very, very dangerous, and you wouldn't want to try it. So I understand why they're going with the CGI fire, but yeah, it doesn't look too realistic in my opinion. But still, it's pretty cool seeing a vampire on fire. I mean, it's cool imagery. So we go down to the official movie poster here. So a Sean Cronin film, Boogieville. Even God knows not of this place. Even God knows not of this place. Yeah, I mean, that's an okay tagline. It's not the best. Even God knows not of this place. I mean, it's okay. Is that going to have some sort of religious overtones or undertones within the movie that tagline would make sense? Even God not know of this place. could potentially have religious overtones. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think this poster actually looks fun. We look at quite a lot of low-budget horror movie posters here on the channel, and sometimes they're really kind of lackluster. The image that they put on the poster doesn't represent the film in a good light. But I think this poster actually looks quite good. I think it looks quite compelling. We've got the vampires kind of front and center here. We've got the little girl, and then it looks like there's potentially her father or someone she's related to, or somebody else who lives in the trailer park, as it is a trailer park full of vampires. Then we got other characters. We got the sheriff down at the bottom with his handgun. And we've got these other characters on the outside. And then obviously giving us a shot of the trailer park here. There's a bloody handprint in the window of the trailer park here. Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of cool. Characters, vampires, and the trailer park. I mean, it kind of gives you what the movie basically is. And I think it looks quite cool the way that everything's positioned. Like I say, we look at a lot of low budget horror movie posters, and sometimes they're just not that good, but this one's actually quite cool. I quite enjoy it. Not the best thing I've ever seen, but yeah, it's not bad. So are you excited for this southern fried take on the vampire lore? What do you think of this gnarly new vampire design? Share your thoughts and join the conversation in the comment section below. Yeah, guys, so there we are. This is just a very, very short video. I mean, it's one of these low-budget vampire movies. I don't expect the effects, the visual, the CGI effects to be, you know, top-notch. Kind of like this fire here. You can just tell from this image. But other than that, the practical effects of the fangs and what the vampires look like, they've absolutely nailed it. I think that looks great. This trailer looks all kinds of grisly, gnarly. I think it looks edgy. I think the film looks really fun. It's one of those films that you'd watch on a Sunday evening. If there's nothing else on, turn your brain off, whack on a cheap vampire movie, and I think you've got a good time. Grab a couple of friends and your family. And yeah, I think it looks like something that's worthwhile watching if you're into vampires and, you know, into the horror genre. But guys, there we are. So I throw it off to you. Jump in the comment section. What do you think about this? It's called Boogieville, an upcoming low-budget vampire movie that looks very reminiscent of that Abigail movie we recently got. Is this something you'd be interested in watching? Do you think it looks trash? Do you think it looks good? Whatever your thoughts are, pop them in the comment section. Can't wait to see what you have to say. Hey there, guys. I hope you're all keeping well. Thanks so much for being here. So, one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Furiosa and Mad Max Saga. The first reviews are now out. I can't wait to read them along with you guys and see what people are saying about this movie. That Mad Max Fury Road movie they did a few years ago with Tom Hardy, I thought it was incredible. Being in this kind of deserted wasteland after the world has fallen, having these mad designs of these different cars, people, you know, fighting each other, and all the kind of the racing with the crazy cars. It's absolutely incredible, and it looks like we're going to get more of the same in this, which, sign me up, take my money. So this comes to us from comicflicknews.com. So first reviews of Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga revealed, Rotten Tomatoes score, and comparison to Fury Road. So, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, premiered with great fanfare at the Cannes Festival today, marking the anticipated debut of George Miller's prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. Initial reviews are now in for the film. So, with a 7-minute standing ovation at its Cannes debut, Furiosa currently holds an 87% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. While not a flawless score, the overall consensus is overwhelmingly positive, particularly praising the action, visuals, and stellar cast, spearheaded by Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, those guys look like they're having an absolute blast making this movie. I mean, Chris Hemsworth, he's playing a character called Dementis, if I'm not mistaken, but in the trailers, Chris Hemsworth looks like he's having the time of his life. He looks so good as this character, this kind of villain in this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy as well. She's always great in everything that she's in. She always elevates material. I would expect nothing less than, great stuff from her as well. So I think we're in for a treat with this movie. However, some viewers found Furiosa slightly lacking, primarily because it didn't meet their sky-high expectations, meaning it falls short of the benchmark set by 2015's Fury Road. Yeah, like I said, Fury Road, that movie was so good. It really did. It went over and beyond what my expectations were for that movie, and it just absolutely nailed everything. So trying to land a prequel Mad Max movie that's going to be up to the heights of what they did with Fury Road is going to be very difficult. But it looks like it scored very high on its review score, which is great to hear. So from Rotten Tomatoes here, we have the Twitter post. The first reviews are in for Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, currently fresh at 87% on the tomato meter with 30 reviews. So let's go ahead and click on this link and let's see if the score's been updated or the amount of reviews, just in case. So if we go over to Rotten Tomatoes here, let's go down and have a look. So we're on 86% from 43 reviews. So there's a few more reviews, but it's hovering around that same level. We're at 86%. And for this movie, that's absolutely incredible. To obtain a fresh review on Rotten Tomatoes, you have to get 60 and above. So 86%, that means that nearly, 9 out of every 10 critics that reviewed this movie enjoyed it, rounding up from, 86 to 90 basically. But yeah, that's incredible. So 8 or 9 out of every 10 critics enjoyed this movie. That's fantastic to hear. I'm all the more excited to go and watch this now. Like I said, sign me up, take my money, give me more Mad Max, because the crazy contraptions, the cars, the wasteland, and the characters, it's also wacky and goofy and crazy, and it's just, I just love it. So let's get back over to the article. So here's what the critics are saying about Furiosa and Mad Max Saga. So I've compiled a major list here of like all of the major outlets that have reviewed the movie. So let's go down and take a look at the most important reviews and let's see what they have to say. And we've also got the review scores for each review as well. Yeah, on some of them we have, sorry, not all of them. So this one comes to us from the BBC. With all due respect to Miller's bonkers vision and his incredible ability to put the vision on screen, Furiosa seems like one of those spin-off graphic novels that plugs the gaps between two films in a franchise, but which didn't quite match up to the films themselves. So 9 years later comes a prequel, Furiosa and Mad Max Saga, and Miller, now seemingly ageless at 79, yeah, still making movies at 79, that's incredible. To be making movies at nearly 80 years old, I mean, that just blows my mind. He was 34 when the first one came out. He was 34 when the first Mad Max came out. That's crazy. Has perhaps given birth to the greatest Mad Max yet. A wheels-up, rock-and-rolling epic that delivers the origin story of the title character Charlize Theron, picked up in Fury Road when she was about 26. Giving birth to the greatest Max yet. So Deadline here is saying that this is the best Mad Max there's been, that's just incredible to hear that. So the chassis may look familiar, but there is a very different engine driving Furiosa from that of Fury Road. It's a rich, sprawling epic that only strengthens and deepens the Max mythology. It shall ride eternal. 5 out of 5, and that comes to us from Empire. Again, another major review saying it's incredible. That's given us a 5 out of 5, and the previous one from Deadline saying it's the best Mad Max there's ever been. So that's 2 reviews back to back there, just saying that this is incredible. In a sense, Dementus is a character artificially contrived to give Furiosa someone to face off with, a warlord distinct from Immortan Joe, but Taylor-Joy and Hemsworth are a great pairing, and Taylor-Joy is overwhelmingly convincing action heroine. She sells this sequel. Yeah, from all of the trailers and the marketing that I've seen, she absolutely kind of thrust herself into this Mad Max role, and she just looks like she's having a great time making it. The same as Chris Hemsworth. And when the actors are having a great time, it allows the audience to have a great time as well. So, it's kind of great to see. Furiosa's ultimate reckoning with Dementus fulfills the revenge promise, even if Miller can't resist stoking the mythic aspect by having alternate versions of the warlord's fate, attempting to make it the stuff of legend, this time not quite. So there's a little bit of kind of so-so there in that review. It's not all positive, there's a little bit so-so there. George Miller's Furiosa and Mad Max Saga weaves a hero's journey of epic proportions, ushering in a powerful reflection on what it means to live and love in a dying world. 10 out of 10 from IGN. Wow, that's incredible. IGN gave this a 10 out of 10. That's incredible. So we've had the best Mad Max ever. Then we had 10 out of 10. And we've also had, what was the other one as well? Giving birth to the best Max yet. And anyway, guys, you get what I'm saying. So really, really positive, kind of outstanding reviews. Just not just positive, but like really, really epically outstanding reviews, which is incredible to hear. Where were we? IGM. So how do we brave the world's cruelties? How do we brave the world's cruelties? By refusing to become them ourselves. Such an internally combusting prequel might seem like a strange lead into a movie that spit fire in every direction, but don't you worry, George Miller still has what it takes to make it epic. A-. Yeah, that's great. So A-, so that means that the movie's pretty good, but there's just a slight kind of negativity there. But that sounds great, and that comes to us from IndieWire. So from Total Film, the action franchise set in the sun-blasted sandscapes is evergreen. A special place in Valhalla awaits George Miller, 4 out of 5. Yeah, George Miller, man. I mean, what can you say about him? When you think of like the Mount Rushmore of kind of directors, he's definitely up there on a pedestal. I mean, the guy, like I said, he's 80 years old and he's still firing out these epic movies. How many people at 80 years old, you know, have the capacity to kind of generate this kind of iconic movie? I'm not sure there'd be many people left that could do that. So the most important thing to say about Furiosa, however, is that what it all adds up to is a movie that can be darkly bedazzling, and that will be embraced and defended in a dozen passionate ways. But it's more than that. To me, falls very short of being a Mad Max home run from Variety. So Variety, sort of playing it down a little bit, falls very short of being a Mad Max home run. So they're saying that it's a good movie, but it's not like up there with the kind of pantheon of movies when it comes to Mad Max. But will be embraced and defended in a dozen passionate ways. Yeah, so a lot of people will be defending this as a good movie, absolutely, by the sound of it. What it adds up to is a movie that can be darkly bedazzling. It falls very short of being a Mad Max home run. So they're saying that it's a good movie, but it's not a home run for the Mad Max saga. But you know, a lot of other reviews are seeming to disagree with that. So tip the greasy, dusty, battered hat to George Miller, who is pulling off some kind of ridiculous feat by turning these grungy action movies into a grand saga. And that comes to us from The Wrap. Tip your greasy, dusted, battered hat to George Miller, who is pulling off some kind of ridiculous feat by turning these grungy action movies into a grand saga. Yeah, he's doing incredible, but obviously he's not got a lot of time left. Is he going to continue to make these movies into his 80s? I don't think so. I mean, the guy's going to want to retire at some point, surely. So some other director or writers or whatever is going to have to overtake this franchise. Will it be able to maintain the quality when George Miller is no longer around? That will be the big question that a lot of people will be asking in the next few years. So as excitement builds for the release of Furiosa Mad Max Saga, it's evident that opinions on the film will continue to vary. Are you eagerly anticipating the latest installment for the Mad Max universe? Do you think it can live up to the legacy of Fury Road? I mean, that's a big legacy to live up to because that movie was incredible. Share your thoughts and expectations in the comments below. Your perspective adds depth to the conversation as we await the film's release and beyond. Yeah, so there we are, guys. So pretty much, I would say, kind of like the Rotten Tomatoes score of, you know, 86%. You know, sort of 8 out of 10 critics love this movie, and I would say probably 80% of the reviews we read as well kind of stick to that number as well, you know, where they're saying that this movie is pretty damn incredible, and it, you know, it could be one of the best Mad Max movies ever made. It does manage to, you know, stand on itself better than Fury Road did. But yeah, there's some that have a slight kind of negativity to them as well, but overall it's mostly positive, and this is great to hear. Adds all the anticipation for this movie. Can't wait to see this movie even more than I did last week now that I've read these reviews with you guys. And that was the first time I've read these reviews. I haven't read them yet. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. This is everything that I wanted it to be in terms of the reviews. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Did the reviews kind of catch you off guard? Was you expecting this movie to be this good? Did you expect it to receive an 86% review? Did you expect the reviews to be higher? Did you expect them to be lower? Whatever your thoughts are, pop them in the comment section. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this, guys. Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we do like to dive into some gaming news from time to time, and we're going to be talking about the biggest game in recent months, Helldivers 2. It's completely overtaken the gaming industry. This game has sold like hotcakes. And when I say hotcakes, I mean hotcakes. So we're going to dive into the story and see what's going on with the sales figures and how Helldivers has become the global success that we all know and love. I can't get enough of this game. I play it all the time. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. This kind of fresh take on being a Helldiver and using all these stratagems to blow up bugs and robots. I just think it's such a fun game. And let's dive in and talk about it. So this comes to us from Comic Flick News. So, PlayStation's fastest selling game ever, Helldivers 2 now dominates. Fastest selling PlayStation game ever. What? That's absolutely just bananas. Bananas, like the fruit bananas, you know what I'm talking about? And, yeah. So, PlayStation's newest sensation, Helldivers 2, has shattered records with its unprecedented sales numbers. Within just 12 weeks of its launch on PlayStation 5 and PC this February, the co-op PvE shooter has stormed past expectations, becoming the fastest selling game in PlayStation history. I'll repeat that just in case you missed it. Becoming the fastest selling game in PlayStation history. Like, there's no other kind of moniker or title that you would want for your game as a developer other than that. The fastest selling game, PlayStation game, I should say, in history. Wow. That's just, you think of all the games that this has beaten on sales records, like, that just boggles my mind, absolutely. So during today's investor call, Sony proudly revealed that Helldivers 2 has exceeded a staggering 12 million copies sold worldwide. This remarkable milestone, achieved on May 5th, 2024, firmly establishes Helldivers 2 as a powerhouse in the gaming world, outstripping even the acclaimed God of War Ragnarok. Just think about that for a second, guys. This game, a small game that just came out of nowhere, even the developers, right, they were so surprised at how successful this game was. You remember in the first week, we just overloaded the servers because they weren't expecting the amount of people to be playing the game, and the servers just kind of blew up. But the fact this game has beaten sales on God of War Ragnarok. You think of how prestigious God of War, that series, is. Absolutely. When it comes to gaming, it's an absolute masterpiece. It's like the Picasso of kind of gaming, God of War, the series. I mean, it's just a masterpiece. And the fact that this game has outsold it, my head's gonna just, yeah. So, Sony Santa Monica's God of War Ragnarok, lauded for its immense success, reached 5 million sales in its debut week and 11 million within 75 days of its launch on PS4 and PS5 in November 2022. Helldivers 2 Rise surpasses these figures, cementing its status as a gaming phenomenon. I literally just talked about it, but the fact that this game beat a God of War, a God of War game on PlayStation, just, I don't even know what to say. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. But then again, this game is fresh, it's new, it's exciting. It's something we haven't seen before. This, being this kind of badass Helldiver on a planet, squishing bugs, and, you have all these crazy weapons, machine guns, explosives, you have these starships, and just everything about it is so fresh and different, and there's nothing like it on the market that anybody's seen. So, I understand why it sold so well. Furthermore, Sony confirmed that Helldivers 2 now stands as the company's most successful PC title ever, further solidifying its position as a force to be reckoned with across platforms. Although there's still no crossplay yet, and a lot of people are annoyed about that. I understand why. In the wake of this monumental achievement, Johan Pilstedt, CEO of Arrowhead Studios, the mastermind behind Helldivers 2, took to social media to express his jubilation, marking a proud moment for the team and the gaming community at large. So, the CEO of Arrowhead said this: "What a massive achievement from everyone involved in realizing Helldivers 2. The CEO of Arrowhead wrote on Twitter, "A massive thank you to the community for your support, passion, and dedication in the fight for democracy." I can't wait to see where they're going to take this game as a live service. I mean, the guy, he kind of plays like the battle master in the background where he's manipulating the strings. He kind of decides which planets we have to defend, which planets we have to attack, all the different major orders within the game that, the players have to come together to fulfill a common goal, whether it's defense, whether it's attacking. And it's so fun to have the game updated constantly, not knowing, what planet's going to be attacked, what planet's going to have to be defended. New weapons are making their way into the game. If you complete a major order or like a campaign mission, then we unlock new weapons as a community. So kind of banding together as a community and having that community where we're encouraging each other to complete missions to get new weapons and new gear. It's just so fun, and it adds to the essence of the game, that community spirit around what they've created. So, from the Arrowhead CEO, I don't know how to say this name, so I'm just going to call him the CEO of Arrowhead. So, obviously, we've got the actual Twitter. Let's go on to the Twitter post here and just take a look at it quickly. So, as announced in the Sony earning call, we have sold over 12 million units. It's crazy to think that there are more Helldivers than there are Swedes. That's actually insane. Like, when you put it in that perspective, that's crazy. What a massive achievement for everyone involved in realizing Helldivers 2. A massive thank you to the community for your support, passion, and dedication in the fight for democracy. All love. Technically, that makes Helldivers the largest active military in the world. People's Republic of China has 2,035,000 active military, and us as Helldivers, we have 11 million, even though it's a virtual army. So having a virtual army against a real army doesn't really work. I don't think it works like that. So yeah, but I get what this guy's saying. Just from a fun perspective, that's crazy to think about. Just waiting for that wiki to be updated. Could you imagine if they actually put Helldivers there, like 12 million Helldivers? That would be insane. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the post from the Arrowhead CEO there, just letting us know about the record sales numbers. So, impressive indeed, with 12 million soldiers enlisted in the ranks of Helldivers 2. It boasts the largest active military in the world. The game's success has not only set records, but also significantly bolstered Sony's sales and profit margins in the last quarter. Although Sony have got a lot of making up to do after the whole PlayStation Network linkage and then delisting it in loads of countries. But it's crazy that the community banded together and they managed to push back Sony and get the whole PlayStation Network kind of fiasco that was kind of put behind us. So we just have to wait and see, you know, if the delisted countries actually come back to being active Helldivers. I don't believe that the countries that were delisted are yet enlisted again yet. So we'll kind of have to see how that plays out. According to Sony, Helldivers 2 played a pivotal role in driving up the number of monthly active users on PlayStation to a staggering 118 million, marking a remarkable 9% increase year over year. A staggering 118 million active users on PlayStation. That's incredible. A 9% increase. So, moreover, March witnessed a notable 15% surge in the total playtime on PlayStation compared to the previous year. That's incredible, just from this one game, a 9% increase year over year, and a 15% surge in the total playtime. Just from this one game. There's no other words to describe it. I'm literally running out of words to describe what's going on here. So, the fourth quarter, culminating in March 31st, 2024, saw the second highest total playtime in Sony's history, trailing only behind the pandemic-fueled surge of the fiscal year of 2020. I mean, the pandemic era, when everyone was at home and they had nothing to do but, you know, to kind of sit in their underwear and play games all day, absolutely, you know, that number during the pandemic of playtime is going to be massive, so I wouldn't expect this game to kind of top that. So, culminating the second highest total playtime in Sony's history, trailing behind the pandemic-fueled surge. Yeah, like I said, you know, during the pandemic, there's nothing else to do. People were playing video games all day, so that playtime would be absolutely massive. So I wouldn't expect Helldivers to be able to beat that. However, the success wasn't without its share of controversies. Arrowhead and PlayStation clashed over the requirement for PC players to link their Steam account to a PlayStation Network. That was insane how that story just blew up. I remember logging on Twitter one day, and then there was a couple of people posting about it, and then the next day I woke up and it was like everywhere. This whole topic of PlayStation Network just exploded, and it just went crazy. And the rest is history. We pushed back Sony, and they've managed to, allow us to continue our Helldiving without having to link our PlayStation Network accounts, without signing up to them, I should say. But although Sony, as the owner of Helldivers IP, initially stood firm, the decision was eventually reversed after backlash from the game's player base, resulting in a significant wave of negative reviews. Yeah, the fact that everybody just negatively review bombed the crap out of this game on Steam, but then once we pushed back Sony and their decision to link PSN was reversed, everyone went back on, and in a show of good faith kind of reversed their reviews back to positive ones. So yeah, you know, the community kind of rallied behind each other, and it was great to see that everybody stuck up for each other, and we can get great things done when that happens. So we have a great video here, 50 advanced tips. So if you're a Helldiver, a fellow Helldiver like myself and like many of us, and you want some tips, guys, if you look at this video here, you have 50 plus advanced tips to be a better Helldiver. And I mean, who doesn't want to be a better Helldiver? Who doesn't want to spread democracy even more? So you can check out this video. It's not my video, it's just someone's video from YouTube. And it's a great video, so I recommend checking it out if you want to become a better Helldiver. Despite these hurdles, Helldivers 2 continues to thrive, available for purchase on PlayStation and PC at the start of $40. Yeah, the fact that this game blew up as well, I think the price point has a lot to do with that. Most games that are coming out now, you know, like we've just had the reveal of Assassin's Creed Shadows. The base game is $70, which is ridiculous in my opinion. This game only costs $40, so it's nearly half the price, and yet it's probably going to be double the amount of fun as well. And yeah, the price point had a lot to do with the sales records of this game. The fact that it's only $40, and it's one of the most incredible games I've ever played in my entire life. Yes, I am sounding like a fanboy, and I don't give a fuck. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are. So the sales, you know, 12 million copies worldwide. It beat out God of War Ragnarok, which is insane. And, I mean, what more can we say about it? I mean, it bolstered PlayStation's playtime on their PlayStation Network, a 15% surge in total playtime, a 9% increase year over year, which is just insane. And I've run out of words how to describe this story. But you get the picture, guys. So, are you a Helldiver? Do you enjoy this game, or do you think this game's trash? Jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think of this overall story. Did you expect Helldivers to become this popular? Do you continue to play the game? What do you think about everything that's going on? And let me know just all your thoughts about this story. And if you're a Helldiver, are you enjoying the game? What improvements do you think they should make going forward? Any thoughts and opinions that you have regarding Helldivers and this story? I'd love to hear it, guys. So yeah, guys, there we are. I really do appreciate you being here. Hit that like and subscribe for more of these videos. If you enjoy my content, that would really go a long way to helping me out. And I will see you in the next one.